So what's up? Um, this may be fairly short, but yeah. Um, best weekend in WWE in a long time. Um, I'd say probably since WrestleMania. Um, so kudos for that. I don't remember many of the matches, other than the ladies' match with Stephanie Vaquer, but seeing Jacob overhearing Solo talk about how he's stupid, I'm going, y'all better pull the trigger on this quick. That's all there is to it. You better pull the trigger on this quick, because there's no way Jacob should still be trying to do things for or with him. It just shouldn't happen. And the Wyatt Six promo being cut, and then the entire tag division going like, who pissed them off? And I'm going, all right, we're starting to move some stories along. This is good. And Money in the Bank pretty much went exactly how I predicted it would. I said either Alexa Bliss or Naomi was winning because it's the only two that made sense. Everyone else, you're either still too new or you're still trying to build. The only two that made sense was Alexa Bliss and Naomi. And Alexa Bliss simply because it's like they try to push her and then they stop, and then they try to push her and then they stop, and then they give her these little backstage segments, and that's about the end of it. And I'm going, you guys got to do something with the girl, man. This is getting kind of dumb. And um, Naomi made the most sense because she needed to be elevated in her storyline. And I say elevated in the storyline because it really does have to come down to how in the heck are you going to actually give your bad guys ammo? Because that's when the bad guys are in control, the heroes winning means more. Um, and that's just how all of that goes. So, like I said, for me, it made the most sense that Naomi was going to win. And then she won. And I had said Lyra's dropping the belt because the whole stipulation that was put on there, and it you can't keep doing the same thing again and again and still keep getting the same reaction or still keep doing the same build. Lyra, for the most part, her title run has been kind of meh. It was non-existent and then went into pretty good. So overall, you have to give her kind of a meh title defense. Um, Becky getting the title means that she can sort of bring that title up instead of trying to push. Um, it's much easier to do it that way than it is any other way, and that's literally all that goes. That's how it goes. Um, you have uh, oh god, what was the other match? Oh, the Dominic versus Octagon Jr. It was almost too short to be any good. Um, Dom can put on better matches. Octagon Jr. can put on better matches, but it just seemed like they're like, y'all got 7 minutes, go, and they go out there, and it, it was an extra match to give an extra match, and it was to kind of take some of the AAA guys and bring them into the WWE part because you had some of the WWE guys going into the AAA part or the AAA. Um, which I went back and I thought it was kind of cool because I didn't know because I mean how would you that Lillian Garcia was the announcer at what the hell was that event even called? Worlds Collide, and didn't know she spoke Spanish. I went, am I right? So that was an extra added little fun surprise. And um, the men's Money in the Bank match, while I agree you should have bookended the pay-per-view or PLE, you should have bookended it with Money in the Bank matches. But I get why you didn't, because with what they did after the men's Money in the Bank match, no one would have given a damn. No one would have given a damn about what was going on. It was just too much. I was screaming, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" Whenever R-Truth, Ron Killings came back, and I, yeah, instantly the pay per view was elevated leaps and bounds above Backlash. Backlash was dumb. It was bad. It was badly written. It was badly paced. It was a waste of a Cena Orton match. It was dumb, man. God, that pay per view just pissed me off. In hindsight, I'm glad I did not purchase tickets to it, because if I'd have spent $200 on that, I'd have been pissed. But it was pretty self evident that Rollins was going to win the men's Money in the Bank, and sort of having all of these guys come out and all of them gooning out, and you have Solo finally get his comeuppance from Jacob. And I remember screaming, "It's about time. It's about time. It's about time. It's about time." And so now Solo can be lifted in relevance and Jacob can be broken free. And that's why you do those things. And then we had Raw last night. And I know everybody was sitting there. Like, my biggest thing was, I can't believe Ron Killings cut his hair right there. He's just like, nope, I am not to be messed with. I'm not a gimmick. Here's your gimmick. This is what's left of it. Get used to it, because that gimmick's gone, just like the hair on the top of my head. And the way that he kept saying, "Put some respect on my name," I'm going, you could tell that wasn't aimed at anybody in the locker room. That wasn't aimed at anybody in the arena. That was aimed at everybody above. Everyone who you don't see, that is higher than the production crew, that is higher than the build crew. That's what that was aimed at. And yes, I am all for this now, and I could see them start to pivot some storylines to reincorporate Ron Killings into going against Cena, just to have him kind of give Cena a beatdown and win. Whether Cena has the title or not is irrelevant, but just to give him a chance to beat him down, and then just say the words, "This is why you never meet your heroes, Truth," and then walk. Just leave him in a mess on the canvas. I'm going, peak storytelling. Do it. But I know that I'm probably one of the few, but I can't stand this whole let's flop back and forth between Gable and El Grande Americano. That whole thing's getting old. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle between Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the background, and I'm going, it's about time. And then seeing Karrion Kross, I'm going, let's push. Like, you have, my thing is this: the whole American Made stable is stale. There's no one in there that anybody gives any damn about, and you need to start pushing them into the background. Because the fact that you have Gable working double means that you're not giving other opportunities to other players, to other people in the field. And that's not okay. You have to. You have to be able to push other people as well. Um, if you want to still keep doing this double rotation thing, that's fine, but make it less prevalent. Um, I'm sure people would have gone nuts if you had put Karrion Cross in the Money in the Bank, and then Chad could have had his match with El Vikingo, and it was an amazing match. But I'm going because that way you're elevating Gable, and you're starting to push El Grande back down into the ground, because we know Gable's able to do a good match and to have a good match. But if you're not going to give him anything of substance, then you're just taking up a slot. You're taking up time. And the Creed brothers can go away. Ivy Nile can go away. I can't even remember the freaking stable that Otis and Tozawa are in. But that's where American Made needs to go, is right next to them. There's no reason for it. They can go. Because there's other people that people want to see, and you're not giving it to them. And that's why, if you pay attention, whenever the camera pans to Sami Zayn after he won his qualifier for King of the Ring, he sees Karrion Cross. The crowd went more nuts for seeing Cross than they did for Sami walking in the winner. Hello. It's there. Whatever you have him working on every other week or every 3 weeks, speed that up. Speed up Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Like, there's so many things you're just dragging your feet on. I remember when I was trying to do something in music, and I had called various music companies. And they said, when you give us a demo tape, the only tip I'll give you is don't bore us, get to the chorus. So if you have sort of like this big, long 12-minute intro into the first verse like Tool, record execs don't want to see that. They don't want to hear it. They don't want it. They'll just skip you. Do your quick 4 stanzas, get into the chorus, and they'll go, okay. Because I'm sure there's people that listen to a ton of music and just go, no, this sucks. This is just like this. So we're in that stage because we've hit stagnation. And that's why a lot of people were pissed that Jay dropped the title to Gunther. But I called it. I said he's got to drop it. Just like Lyra had to drop. Just like Naomi had to win. That Rollins had to win. Jay had to drop the title. There was so many people that were helping lift him up to get to that point. He got to that point. But I also think that there's a little thing of, besides your whole yeet thing, how well can you sustain after you drop the title and still remain relevant other than your entrance? And I think that's what they're going to be testing. That, and they know that it was one of those, there's your feel-good moments. You had it for a couple months, and we move on. But these year-long title reigns, I think, need to end. I think 4 months, give or take a little, is about the extreme that you need to go for holding on to a belt, period. That's just all there is to it. And it's more to the point of, you can't really pretend that people are enjoying it, because merch sales tell you who they're into, interactions tell you who they're into, social media stuff and things like that tell you who they're into. And I think you're trying to super heel push Gable, and it's not working. And again, it's stale, and it needs something new. That's why Jay had to drop the belt. Lyra and Becky was getting stale. That's why she had to drop the belt. The scene of things getting stale and he needs to drop the belt soon. And I did like that he'd go, okay, you want a title shot, Punk? Let's do this. You got to follow me to Saudi Arabia, pretty much without saying, and we all knew it was implied, without saying where you don't really want to go in the first place. So how much does this title mean to you? And I was just going, out of everything you've done in your heel turn, Cena, that was the best thing so far. That was the best thing. You've not done anything at that level since you got the title. It's been just whining and cheating to maintain relevance, and having that sort of, okay, let's do it, but you got to go somewhere where you said you wouldn't go. And you could see the look in his eyes, and Punk sold it well. But you could see in Punk's eyes, he's just going, you son of a bitch. You, okay. Okay. And this is where I'm saying Punk needs to get that belt. Because you can't keep throwing top name after top name after top name and have him be just like Teflon and it just slides right off. Even Punk acknowledged that Cody's the best they got, and he had to cheat to win. So if Punk is saying that, and they said just throw something in there to where it's Cody's the best, and John had to cheat, I'm hoping it's something along those lines, because it really does need to have something to where if Punk's not going to take the belt back, I think Cody taking the belt back is going to be too cliche. But if Punk isn't taking the belt back, there's one other person that I think needs to take that belt, even if just for a little bit before Rollins cashes it in and takes it from him. Ron Killings. Ron Killings needs to take the belt from Cena. 100%. If it's not going to be Punk, it needs to be Killings. And like I said, you could have Seth cash in immediately afterwards, because then you're going to be upset for Killings and you're going to have more disdain for Rollins. And that's what all of these storylines are doing, is they're playing with your emotions, and they're playing with how you view the bad guys, and they're playing how you view the good guys. Just today, waking up, and I thumbed through TikTok for a little bit, just kind of get my eyeballs working. I find it funny how many people were just like, I'm so pissed. Triple H sucks. He doesn't know what he's doing. And why is you going to give Jay the belt on for him to drop? And I'm going, do you not realize that you having this reaction is exactly what you're supposed to have? You're supposed to be upset that your guy lost. But that also sits there and should harden his resolve to go and get it back. If you pay attention to storylines and you actually pay attention to how you feel as things move, for the most part, they're doing what they're supposed to do. This is part of the reason why I was like, Trips, hire me. I got ideas. Still haven't heard back from him, but whatever. I think there's a lot of room to really kind of help push a lot of people, push a lot of players. And you don't even have to sit there and push them to titles. Just push them into more active, push them into more relevancy. Because I'm going, it's been 2 weeks and we've only seen a vignette of Rusev. So where the hell is he? Aleister Black had a match, but he's kind of fallen by the wayside. What are we doing? You get all these people in and you're not pushing them. And with the exception of Killings coming back, the women have been outdoing the men lately. Their matches have been better. And I think that's part of their plan, because that makes you want to tune into Evolution, because it's just the ladies. And, you know, you got Nikki Bella coming back to try and elevate that and give that sort of a sense of Well, now what? Who, where? Let's get going. And yeah, I'm I think I'm going to keep repeating myself if I keep going. But that's your SmackDown Money in the Bank and Raw. Sami Zayn needed to win. Um, I do find it interesting that they had Roxanne Perez win. But I think that's just sort of to cause more dissension in Judgment Day than anything else. I don't think they're going to do anything with it. I think just the fact that she beat Liv is all the more that's going to be for right now. I really don't think it's going to go much more than that. Simply because Morgan needs to get back up there as well, and we need some women tag teams, man, because since they got their belts back the night after WrestleMania, um, they haven't defended them once. So you're two PLEs deep, and they haven't even defended them once. So what are we doing? All right, that's all I got. Have a great one. What's up?